Imagine a night that is not meant for sleep, but a silent test of survival. At the edge of a snow-buried European village, a small wooden hut stands alone in the darkness. The wind presses against its fragile walls as if searching for a way inside, while the cold slowly seeps into the air until it becomes something you can almost feel breathing. Inside, a fading fire struggles to stay alive, casting a dim, trembling light, just enough to whisper that life is still here, barely. In those ancient villages, sleep was never simple rest. It was a skill learned through hardship, a quiet strategy to survive until morning. Families gathered close for warmth, their bodies forming a fragile shield against the cold. Children rested at the center, like a small beating heart protected by everyone. Even the animals stayed nearby, their warm breath sometimes marking the thin line between a bearable night and a merciless one. Everything in that world was simple, raw, essential, unforgiving. Straw spread across the ground, rough wool blankets heavy with winter, and glowing embers hidden carefully beneath ash, like a secret saved for dawn. Warmth was never guaranteed, food was never abundant, and tomorrow was never certain. The lives of medieval peasants knew little comfort. Work began with the first pale light of dawn, in frozen fields, with primitive tools, on land that returned only what relentless labor forced it to give. Every grain of wheat meant a slightly kinder winter. Every mistake risked hunger. Even food carried the weight of patience. Coarse bread baked to endure many days. Simple soup that warmed more than it satisfied. Carefully stored provisions, because winter showed no mercy to those who miscalculated. And yet, the cold was not the cruelest burden they carried. Beyond the distant fields rose silent palaces, where the harvest they had planted with their own hands was taken, leaving behind only crusts of bread to sustain another day of exhaustion. A world where fatigue flowed in a single direction, toward those who had never touched the soil. Still, life continued, not through force, but through patience, not through rebellion, but through quiet solidarity. They hid small portions of wheat. They shared what little bread they had, and deep inside they held a fragile hope they rarely spoke aloud, that one day they might sow the land only for themselves. At the end of each long frozen day, the farmer returned to his humble hut, sat beside the slowly dying fire, and listened to the soft crackle of burning wood, as if it were reminding him that life, despite everything, still moved forward. Then he lay down upon the straw, beneath heavy blankets, surrounded by the gentle warmth of his family's breathing, and allowed the harsh world to fade behind closed eyes. There, within the cold silence, sleep was more than rest. It was a peaceful form of survival. And now, as you listen from a place of warmth and safety, perhaps it is enough to let your thoughts grow quiet, to slow your breathing, and to allow sleep to arrive softly, like snow falling upon a distant village centuries ago.